Sachiputram Attasupam Rupam Tasyagatamuripurim Maturim Gosvatim Radha Kunda Magivaram Oh Radhika Amarvasam Prapto Yasa Patita Kripaya Sri Kuntam Natosu Gurave Gaurachandra Radhikaye Tadali Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namah Ananda Lila Maya Vigrahaya Eva Bhadivya Visundara Tasmai Ma Prema Sapradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namah Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namah Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namah Bhaktya Vima Aparana Lakshmi Sutastu Kripamayikam Sharanam Tapana Vinde Namaste Karanaravinda Vinde Namaste Karanaravinda Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Govinda Damodara Sham Sundar Shikar Shikar Smaha Samurli Manora Radhikara Sukamama Kripanidhe Supriyachana Kinkarim Kuru Tavaivasmi Najivami Tayamina Tivikyaya Devi Tvam Namam Charanantikam. First of all, I offer my sastang danvat puspanjali, my heart like flowers thousands of times, at the lotus feet of my holy master, Asmade Paramaratma Guru Pada Padma, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Ashto Tarasat Shishimad, Rupanuga Acharya Varya, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami.
Primero que todo, queremos mostrar sus queridas mi corazón como millones, miles y miles de flores de loto a los pies como flores a los pies del loto de mi maestro espiritual, mi querida Clarisa, un mismo para Hamsa, para Satsuvi, gracias, Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj.
Secondly, I offer my pranam thousands of times to my Param Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, and all of our Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Prabhu.
Ofrezco mis reverencias a toda la línea de Guru Parampara, Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada y toda la línea de Guru Rupanuga Acharya.
And finally, I offer my pranam to all the assembled Vaisnavas and Vaisnavas. Yat pada sangsaya sutta munaya prasamanaya sadhyo punatyupasprisya swadunyapo nusevaya. Shonika Rishi, in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, he glorified Sri Sutta Goswami.
Shonika Rishi, al comienzo del Srimad Bhagavatam, está glorificando a Sutta Goswami.
He said, Swadunyapunna Sevaya, if one will render service to the Ganges, then gradually, one's consciousness becomes purified.
Él comenta que si uno ofrece servicio al Ganges, la conciencia de uno poco a poco se va purificando.
But great devotees like you are so influential. That
Aquellos devotos como tú, tan influenciados.
Sadhyo punantupasprisya, even a slight contact with a devotee like you causes immediate purification.
Aquellos devotos que son tan influenciables como tú, tan solo un segundo de su asociación provoca la purificación inmediata.
The indication here is Swadunapunu Sevaya. By Anusevaya, continuous service to the Ganges, one is purified. But the Vaishnava is so powerful, Sadhyo punantupasprisya. There and then one is purified.
La indicación aquí es que tan solo el servicio al Ganges, con el servicio al Ganges uno se purifica, pero los devotos puros, tan solo un segundo de su asociación,
there and then purified without doing any service.
Sin hacer ningún tipo de servicio.
Upasprisya means by a slight contact.
Simplemente con un pequeño contacto.
That means just seeing.
Solamente verle.
Or even not even seeing, only remembering.
Ni siquiera verles, recordándoles.
So Vaishnava association is very powerful.
Así que la asociación con los Vaishnavas es muy poderosa.
All the scriptures glorify sadhu-sanga.
Todas las escrituras glorifican el sadhu-sanga.
Krsna bhakti janmamul hoy sadhu-sanga. Prem bhakti jannetena punar mukhyanga. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught that the root cause of the appearance of bhakti in our heart is sadhu-sanga.
La Rupa Goswami dice que tan solo el contacto de la asociación con los devotos, esa es la raíz, es la semilla del sadhu-sanga.
And it's the mul, the root of bhakti.
Y es la raíz del bhakti.
That means if your bhakti grows, but then you also give up sadhu-sanga, then you have cut your root.
Dice que el bhakti, si dejas la asociación, cortas esa raíz.
So sadhu-sanga is compulsory in all the stages of bhakti. Don't think adosrada, sadhu-sanga, bhajana, sadhu-sanga is the second stage. When I go past that, then no need. Sadhu-sanga is recommended in all the stages of bhakti.
Sí, así que sadhu-sanga es siempre recomendando todos los estadios del bhakti. No solamente piensas que ya por estar en un escalón ya tienes que pasar al siguiente y sadhu-sanga no continúa, es para todos los estados.
So, Prema Bhakti Janme Teno Puna Mukhya Anga. Mahaprabhu said even when you come to the stage of praying, then still association is the primary factor in our progress in devotion.
Incluso cuando te encuentras en el estado de prema, sadhu-sanga es el primordial, es un factor primordial.
In raganuga bhakti, there are 5 aspects.
Raganuga Bhakti tiene 5 aspectos.
They are called Swabhishta Bhav Mayi Sadhan. Means the sadhan which is composed exactly of the bhav. It is imbued with the bhav for which you are aspiring.
Así que la sadhana está compuesta
That is called Bhav Mayi Sadhana.
Está realmente empapado del bhav que tienes.
For example, if one wants to follow in the moods of Braja Gopis, and one is chanting a verse such as we discussed yesterday, Asasya Dasyam Vrishubhanujaya tirei samadhyasya chavanajaya. One is chanting, absorbed in that sentiment. It is an example of bhava-bhakti.
Si encuentras en el humor o en el bhava de las Raya Gopis, como en el verso que vimos ayer, en el que estás totalmente inmerso en ese aspecto, cuando estás haciendo vayan, te encuentras totalmente absorto en ese sentimiento.
Then there is bhava-sambandhi. It means you are practicing something. The sentiment is not there, but by practicing that anger of bhakti, it will be the upadan karan. It will be the ingredient cause of that bhava.
Incluso cuando el bhava-sambandhi, que es cuando practicas algo, aún no está el sentimiento, pero es el ingrediente que causa que surja esa emoción.
Like remembering your Gayatri mantra, Gopal mantra and Kam Gayatri.
Como cuando recuerdas el Gopal mantra y el Kam Gayatri.
At first you remember, but there's no feeling. So gradually as one surrenders to the mantra, after some time it opens, and so it turns the bhava-sambandhi sadhana that you are doing, it transforms and becomes bhava.
Así que al principio no tienes el sentimiento mientras estás cantando ese mantra, pero a medida que lo vas cantando, se va transformando y aparece ese bhava.
Then there is bhava anukul. It means doing activities which are favorable for the cultivation of your desired mood.
Bhava anukul es potenciar esas actividades favorables para ese tipo de humor.
Then bhava virod, bhava pratikul. That which is against your mood, you should carefully avoid it.
Bhava virod es totalmente no hacer aquello que esté desfavorable para tu humor, para ese humor.
It is bhava pratikul, against your mood.
Bhava pratikul, está en contrario a tu humor.
So don't do the Dwarka Dhyan, meditation on the queens of Dwarka and how they serve Krishna.
Por ejemplo, no hagas memoria o recuerdo del Dwarka Dhyan, que son las reinas de Dwarka.
In Archan, don't do mudras.
En el Archana no hagas mudras.
All these things, they will lead to the awakening mood which is unfavorable for our goal.
Porque va a despertar un humor que será desfavorable para obtener nuestros resultados.
And there's bhava aviruddha, that means those practices which are not against, but they're not favorable, but they're not against, they're neutral.
Y está luego el bhava aviruddha, no están en contra, pero tampoco son favorables.
They may be accepted in certain circumstances.
Puede que se acepten en ciertas circunstancias.
So, Srila Vishwanath Thakur said, though in raganuga bhakti the devotee follows these 5 types of sadhana, at the same time it should be performed along with vaisnava-seva.
Y Ruparuga Goswami dice que Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comenta que estos 5 aspectos del bhakti deberían practicarse siempre acompañado de seva, de servicio devocional.
And this service to the Vaishnavas should not be considered to be a distraction from the devotees' raganuga sadhana bhakti.
Y esta práctica no debería ser un obstáculo para el raganuga sadhana bhakti del devoto.
The devotee will think, oh, I have to chant so much, and because of this I have no time to serve my Gurudev or serve Vaishnavas. Then they will not progress.
Si un devoto piensa que tengo que hacer tantas cosas que no me da tiempo a servir a cantar tanto que no me da tiempo a servir a los devotos y a mi guru, no es un buen camino, no va por el buen camino.
So the example is given of Mother Yashoda. She was feeding Krishna her breast milk.
El ejemplo de la madre Yashoda cuando está amamantando a su hijo.
But when she saw that the milk on the oven was overflowing in the pot on the stove, then she put Krishna down and she went to serve the milk.
Cuando vio que se iba a sobresalir del cacito en la cocina, dejó a Krishna a un lado y se fue a la cocina corriendo.
So though she gave up direct service to Krishna to serve the milk, but this milk is for nourishing Krishna.
Y aunque dejó a Krishna a un lado para apagar el fuego, este fuego era para servir a Krishna.
So it's favorable.
Es favorable.
So in the same way, to put aside the 5 direct practices of raganuga bhakti to serve one's Guru and pure Vaishnavas, this is a nourishing for the raganuga bhakti.
Así que dejar de un lado esas 5 prácticas de raganuga-bhakti para servir a tu Guru y a los Vaishnavas alimenta la práctica de tu raganuga-bhakti.
In fact, raganuga bhakti depends entirely on taste.
De hecho, raganuga-bhakti depende enteramente en el sabor.
And this taste only comes from serving Vaishnavas.
Y esa apreciación de saborear, poder de saborear
Sususro sradadhanasya vasudeva kata ruchi syangmayat sevaya vipra punyatirtha nishevanat. Sutta Goswami said, when we go to a holy tirtha,
Sutta Goswami dice que cuando vamos a un lugar sagrado,
then the purpose of going to the holy place is to seek out the association of pure devotees.
es buscar la asociación de devotos puros.
And there one should render service.
Después debes ofrecer servicio.
And by rendering service, such a tremendous result comes.
Y después de hacer servicio, un resultado tremendo aparece.
Vasudeva Kata Ruchi, tasting Krishna Kata.
Sabor hacia Krishna Kata.
And when one has taste and listens with taste, then the Kata goes in one's heart and cleans out the anarthas.
Y cuando esta atención de ese sabor aparece, se limpia todo el corazón y se limpia de impurezas.
By hearing Harikatha in sadhu-sanga, our nam aparads, our offenses to the holy name also are diminished.
Al escuchar el Harikatha con sabor, entonces también nuestras tendencias a cometer pecados desaparecen.
Then great taste comes in chanting, and one will not sleep.
Un gusto por tanto del santo nombre, no desea dormir tanto.
So once, Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, he opened this flagship temple for the Gaudiya Math in Bag Bazaar, Calcutta.
En Calcuta, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur abrió un gran templo en un mercado.
So, when the temple opened, so many aristocratic people and dignitaries and politicians, they all came and attended the big festival there.
Y en la apertura aparecieron un montón de aristocracia, de políticos, de personas influenciables en la.
So one by one, various dignitaries were giving speeches.
Así que fueron dando fueron hablando, haciendo sus apariciones uno por uno.
So one of them, he was a chief justice,
Y uno de ellos
judge.
era un juez.
Understand?
Uno de ellos era un juez.
Jefe.
So he was giving a speech, and he said, "I have to say special appreciation to Jagabandhu."
Y él quería dar una apreciación a Jagabandhu.
There was one disciple of Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur there, his name was Jagabandhu.
Uno de los discípulos de Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
So he was a businessman,
Era un hombre de negocios
and he was generating quite a lot of wealth.
y generaba un montón de riqueza.
But everything he had, he put into the construction of the Bag Bazaar temple.
Y todo lo que ganaba lo ponía al servicio de la construcción del templo.
So that Chief Justice was saying, Jagabandhu is such a great devotee.
Y este jefe de la justicia decía, Jagabandhu es un gran devoto.
His whole life is for the service of Prabhupada.
Su servicio es al servicio de Prabhupada.
He is working day and night, and everything he has given for the service of his Guru and the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Todo lo que hace es para la misión de su Guru y la misión de Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
And everyone was giving applause and appreciating his service.
Aplaudían y apreciaban su servicio.
So then afterwards, Jagabandhu himself was invited to speak.
Más adelante Jagabandhu fue invitado a hablar.
He said, even though this gentleman is the Chief Justice, but what he said about me is a great injustice.
Este señor es el jefe de la justicia, pero lo que acaba de decir de mí es una gran injusticia.
because I cannot take credit for doing anything.
Y dijo Yagavante, porque no puedo tomar crédito para mí mismo de lo que hago.
The Vedas say, Isha Vasamidam Sarvam. Everything in the universe belongs to Krishna.
Porque dice los Vedas que todo lo que existe en el universo pertenece a Krishna.
So what is there that I can give to Krishna? Everything belongs to him.
¿Y qué puedo yo darle a Krishna si todo le pertenece a él?
If any credit can be given to me, the only credit is that I have given up the mentality of being a thief.
Porque el único crédito que realmente merezco es que he sido dado, tengo la oportunidad de tener la mentalidad de un ladrón.
By thinking that anything is mine.
Pensando que todo es mío.
And everyone was very shocked.
Todos estaban totalmente impactados.
So, this is the vision of the pure devotees.
Esta es la visión del devoto puro.
So Jagabandhu, he served Srila Prabhupada with his whole life and with everything. And by this he was blessed with a taste in Harikatha and Harinam and became pure.
Jagabandhu estaba bendecido por hacer servicio a Prabhupada y escuchar Harikatha y cantar el santo nombre, y por esto fue bendecido.
So try to be like this.
Intenta actuar de esa manera.
Life is very short.
La vida es corta.
It should be, your whole life and everything should be spent in Krishna's service.
Toda tu vida debería ser al servicio, estar al servicio de Krishna.
Otherwise we are considered kripana, like misers.
Si no, somos como tacaños.
It's a very bad business model.
Es un motor de negocios muy malo.
You take something and use it for your sense gratification, and the result is a negative.
Si algo obtienes, lo utilizas para tu gratificación sensorial tan solo, y el resultado es negativo.
But Krishna said to Uddhav, the devotees are very intelligent.
Krishna le dijo a Uddhava, los devotos son muy inteligentes.
Because they take something which is temporary and illusory.
Cogen algo que es ilusorio y temporal, los devotos.
That is the relation with this physical body.
Es la relación con este cuerpo físico.
And the objects of the world.
Y los objetos del mundo.
And they turn this into something eternal and priceless.
Y lo transforman en algo eterno y que no tiene precio.
This is a very good business plan.
Esto es un gran plan de negocio.
You start with something which is worth nothing, and you turn it into something which is eternal and priceless.
Comienzas con algo que no tiene valor y al final es algo eterno y muy.
That means that even though the Atma actually has no relation with the physical body.
Atma de hecho no tiene ningún tipo de relación con el cuerpo físico.
That Sambandha, Atma Deya Sambandha is Maya.
Esa relación es Maya, precisamente.
But still, if all the senses and mind of this body are totally engaged in Krishna's service, then the result comes, one receives an eternally beautiful spiritual form and enters into Krishna's Leela forever.
Y aún así, si los sentidos del cuerpo se realizan a través del servicio de Krishna, uno entra a través de los pasatiempos en su forma eterna pura.
So, Pumam Bhavidim Na Taret Sa Atmaha. Those who don't use this human form of life to cross over the ocean of material existence, they are crazy persons and they are committing suicide.
De hecho, se dice que aquellas personas que utilizan este cuerpo físico para cruzar el océano de sufrimiento material están como locos.
So we should deliberate very deeply on these facts and see what am I doing with my life.
Deberíamos realmente ponderar sobre estos asuntos, decir qué estoy haciendo con mi vida.
So, now we will discuss today one verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. This is 10th canto, chapter 31, text 12. So it's on the board, but it's in your songbooks also, because in the songbooks Gopi Gita is there.
Este verso se encuentra en tus libros, en tu cancionero, que pertenece al Gopi Gita.
12th verse of Gopi Gita.
El 12º verso del Gopi Gita.
So depending on the stage of the devotee, remembering this verse will be Bhav Sambandhi in the beginning stage, and later it will become Bhav Mohi.
Este será el comienzo Bhav Sambandhi y al final se convertirá en los estados, será importante en todos los estados de tu vida espiritual.
Can sing together. Vina parikshaye See, Krishna, having begun to dance and play with Braj Gopis in the Rasa Lila, suddenly disappeared.
Si Krishna, una vez ha comenzado a bailar con las gopis en el Rasa Lila, de repente desaparece.
And Braj Gopis were searching for him everywhere.
Las gopis le buscaban por todas partes.
After some time, they saw his footprints
Después de un tiempo vieron sus
and
pisadas
saw that his footprints were accompanied by another Gopi.
y vieron que esas pisadas estaban acompañadas de las de otra
And they
gopi
followed them.
y las siguieron.
But they did not find Krishna. But they found that Gopi, it was Radhika, and she was lying unconscious in separation from Krishna.
Pero a él no le vieron. Vieron que esa gopi, que era Radhika, se encontraba yaciendo en el suelo inconsciente.
All were struck with wonder at the Prem of Radhika. Why? Because Krishna had left all of them, but only she had fallen unconscious.
Todos estaban impresionados verdaderamente porque Krishna las había abandonado a todas, pero Radhika había estado con él y ahora permaneció en el suelo tendida inconsciente.
So it was evident that the intensity of her love was superior to all.
Y entonces se quedaron impresionados por su Prem, porque era evidente que la intensidad de su amor era suprema.
Just be behind and stand, otherwise you... So, they took some cooling water from Jamuna and sprinkled upon Srimati Radhika, and she opened her eyes.
Cogieron un poquito de agua del río Yamuna, fresquita, y se la echaron para abrir los ojos a Radhika.
And then Gopis all together came onto the bank of the Jamuna.
Todas las gopis juntas llegaron hacia las orillas del río Yamuna.
And they began to pour out their hearts, expressing their desire for Krishna. At once, please return.
Y volcaron sus corazones y sus sentimientos y comenzaron a pedirle que por favor regresara.
Each verse of Gopi Gita presents a number of formidable arguments why Krishna should not hide from them and immediately return.
Cada uno de los versos del Gopi Gita representa unos argumentos maravillosos para que Krishna no se marchase y se quedara con ellas.
So, in this verse, the Gopis say, Dina parikshaye. Dina means the day time, and prikshaye means at the end, at the time when the day is just coming to an end.
Así que en este verso las gopis están diciendo Dina, que es día, y Parish es el final del día.
In other words, the evening time.
En otra forma es por el anochecer.
So at the time, Nila Kuntalaye means dark black curls. Nila means dark black, and Kuntalaye means curling hair, locks of hair.
Y Nila es el cabello rizado y Kuntalaye es Nila es negro, es oscuro, y Kuntalaye es cabello rizado.
Vanaruha means the Ruha is a lotus. So Vanaruha means a lotus that grows not in the water but in the forests, a land lotus.
Y Vanaruha, Ruha es una flor de loto, pero es una flor de loto que aparece en el bosque, no en el agua.
And Ananam means face.
Ananam significa rostro.
Bibrad means shining
Vibrad significa brillante
or decorated.
Decorado.
So, and Avritam means covered.
Avritam es cubierto.
So, it means at the end of the day, when you return from taking the cows to graze in the forest and you return to the village, at that time, the land lotus of your face is covered by the decoration of your curling locks of hair.
Avritam significa que cuando va a pastorear y aparece al anochecer, tu rostro está tapado por aquellos cabellos rizados que te tapan un poco el rostro.
The cowherd boys are accustomed to tying their hair up on their head in a bun.
Los vaqueritos están acostumbrados a hacerse un moñete arriba.
But when they've been playing and wrestling a lot the whole day, then some is up and some is hanging down.
Entonces cuando han estado jugando todo el día, algunos mechones se les caen sobre el rostro.
Gana Rajasvalam, Gana means thick. But in other Patanta, other readings of Bhagavatam, the word is Dana Rajasvalam. So Raja means dust. So Gana Raja would mean that there is a thick layer of dust on Krishna's lotus face.
Gana es espeso y Raja es polvo. Así que Gana Rajasvalam es que Krishna está cubierto por una capa de polvo.
But our acharyas have accepted the version Dhana Rajas. Dhan means wealth, but in the cowherd community, wealth means cows. So Dhana Raja means the dust that was raised by the hooves of the cows.
Así que los acharyas aceptan que Dhana Raja significa que él está cubierto por aquel polvo que ha sido levantado por las pezuñas de las vacas.
So, oh Krishna, your face, which is like a land lotus, it's like a land lotus. Why? Because it's very beautiful.
Sí, simbología de que Krishna, su flor es como una flor de lotus porque es muy bella su flor.
And from a lotus flower, the makaranda, nectar comes.
De su flor de loto makaranda, néctar aparece.
So there's a sweetness emanating from Krishna's lotus face.
Hay una dulzura que aparece de
Especially Dina Priksha at the end of the day because he's tired. So when he's very young and beautiful face, he's tired, he looks more sweet.
Y sobre todo cuando está cansado al atardecer, su rostro parece más dulce todavía.
And it's like a lotus because in the center of the lotus, the pollen is powdered, like fragrant powder here and there. So similarly, on the lotus of his face, the dust raised by the hooves of the cows is like pollen, stuck to the perspiration on his face.
Así que ese polvo que ha sido levantado por las vaquitas al caminar se pega a su rostro como si fuese polen, debido a la transpiración del día.
The lotus flower has drops of water also, so he has drops of perspiration from very energetically playing with his friends.
Debido al polvo energético con sus amigos, pues unas gotas de sudor le caen por el rostro y a eso se adhiere el polvo de...
And also, when there's a land lotus with nectar and pollen, it attracts the black bumblebees that come and land and they kiss the lotus flower.
Porque como en la flor de loto también se acercan las abejas y por el polen, y hay una fragancia muy dulce también que sale de ella.
So darshayan muhur, darshayan means showing. Oh Krishna, you show your face to us.
Darsana significa mostrar, oh Krishna, muestras tu rostro, nos muestras tu rostro.
Muhur means again and again.
Muhur, una y otra vez.
So that means when Krishna is entering into the village, he is looking this way and looking that way, again and again. So if a gopi is that side, she sees his face, and then again, and then again.
Y cuando entra en la aldea, una y otra vez, porque mira de un lado a otro para ver a las gopis.
So when he turns his face like this, then his curls are like black bees, jumping and kissing his face again and again.
Mira de un lado a otro, saltan y como si fueran abejas que están posándose.
When we see this, then Veera, in the last line, Veer means hero.
En la última línea, Veera significa héroe.
Oh hero Krishna. Yachstasi means you give.
Krishna, Yachstasi significa tú nos das.
You give smara. Smara means the amorous desire, the effect of Cupid.
El efecto de Cupido, que es el deseo amoroso.
Naha means our, and manasi mind, in our minds. So, oh hero, by showing us your face again and again, you give the amorous desire in our hearts.
Oh héroe, mirándonos por una y otra vez, nos das en nuestro corazón, satisfaces nuestros deseos. Na es nuestro y mana es mente.
So this is the general meaning of the verse.
Ese es el significado general del verso.
But the devotee who is doing bhava-bhakti, they will taste the deep mood of this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam.
El devoto que está en bhava-bhakti puede saborear este humor que hay en el verso.
The whole day, or for part of the day. But it seemed like a very, very long time, like thousands of years. The Braj Gopis were waiting for Krishna to return.
Al día siguiente, lo que parece como si fueran millones de días, las Gopis están esperando el retorno de Krishna.
It seems such a long time, and their thirst to see him and serve him was so intense that they feel as if they're about to die.
Su intensidad por servir es tan fuerte que parece que se vayan a morir, a abandonar el cuerpo.
So Dina Prikshay means when it is almost the end of the day. This is a metaphor. Or when it's almost the end of our life.
Dina Parikshiya significa, es una metáfora, es como si dijeran al final del día es cuando estamos a punto de morir.
Then suddenly we see the clouds of dust rising up in the distance outside the village.
Y vemos esas nubes de polvo levantarse en la lejanía, en el horizonte.
We hear the sounds of millions of cows, humba humba,
Escuchando el sonido de millones de vacas,
and the sounds of their bells,
el sonido de sus campanillas,
and the sounds of many boys blowing their bugles and playing flutes,
y los muchachos soplando sus trigos y sus flautas,
and singing.
cantando.
Then we know, oh, that you are returning.
Ya sabemos que ya estás de vuelta.
So at that time we're looking, but there's only dust.
Y en ese momento miramos, pero tan solo hay polvo.
And as you come closer, we begin to see through the dust.
Vemos a través de la nube de polvo
And then we see your beautiful lotus face.
y vemos aparecer tu hermoso rostro.
So, Srila Shukadeva Goswami is very rasik.
Srila Shukadeva Goswami es muy clásica.
Yesterday, we discussed the verse Gopya kimachadayam kushalam svavenu. How Braj Gopis are talking to each other when Krishna is in the forest.
Ayer estuvimos viendo ese verso en el que las Gopis hablan una a la otra cuando Krishna está en la foresta.
How Radhika said, what austerities did this flute perform?
Radhika preguntaba, ¿qué austeridades realizó esta flauta?
So these verses of Venu Gita, they describe Purva Rag, that means the attachment, the love, the separation the Gopis feel from Krishna before they actually had the chance to meet him closely.
Mira, este verso habla de Purva
That is called Purva Rag, love prior to meeting.
Ese es amor antes de ver el encuentro.
That is the stage where they are falling in love, their love is growing and growing, but they had no opportunity to consummate that love.
Ese amor está creciendo y creciendo, pero no tiene oportunidad de consumarlo.
So Shukadeva Goswami in Srimad Bhagavatam reveals the Purva Rag of the Braj Gopis through their own words.
Así que Shukadeva Goswami revela el Purva Rag de Krishna a través de las palabras de las Gopis.
But he is very rasik. Though he reveals the Purva Rag of the Braj Gopis through their own words, he does not reveal Krishna's Purva Rag through Krishna's words.
Él es muy inteligente, no revela el Purva Rag de Krishna a través de sus propias palabras, sino revela el sentimiento de las Gopis a través de sus palabras de ellas.
And neither does he describe it himself.
Ni siquiera se describe a sí mismo.
Shukadeva Goswami decided that the rasa would be extremely astonishing if the Braja Gopis, at the time of their separation, they will describe their realization of Krishna's Purva Rag for them.
Es inteligente, piensa que es mucho más básica si explica cómo a través de la boca de las Gopis el Purva Rag de Krishna.
So that is the speciality of this verse.
Esa es la especialidad de este verso.
Because when Krishna comes back to the village, he should just go into the cow shed, milk the cows, and then go into his house.
Porque viene Krishna a ordeñar las vacas y después se marcha a su casa.
But Gopis say no, he doesn't do that.
Pero los Gopis dicen, no, esto no lo hace.
Deliberately he knows that we have fallen in love with him and that we are secretly watching him from various places. And so he's loitering around, going here and there and looking here and there and showing his face, darshan muhu, again and again.
Deliberadamente él sabe acerca de nuestro amor y va de un lado a otro mostrándonos su rostro, dándonos un darshan de un lado a otro.
Deliberately he's doing this.
Forma deliberada.
Why? Manasis nasmaram virayatjasi. Because he knows that by doing this, he'll awaken the romantic desires.
Porque él sabe que al hacer esto aparecerán en nosotros esos sentimientos de romanticismo.
So, very deep meaning here is that when Krishna returns to the village, it's in public.
Un significado muy profundo hay aquí. Cuando Krishna regresa a la aldea,
and we are there, Braj Gopis are there, we are there, but our mother-in-laws and husbands, relatives, cowherd boys, young people, old people, everyone is there.
Estamos ahí nosotras, pero es que todo el mundo está ahí, las suegras, nuestros maridos, los vaqueritos.
And still, Krishna's presence, his smile, seeing his face again and again, by this he gives us the smara, the influence of Cupid.
Y aún así, Krishna, al mirarnos de un lado a otro, mirándonos nos despierta a nosotros el smara, ese sentimiento de Cupido.
So Gopis are telling this verse when Krishna has disappeared from the Rasalila.
Los Gopis están hablando acerca de ese verso cuando Krishna desaparece del Raslila.
So by Vyanjan Vritti, the implied meaning is that if in the evening time, when Krishna is covered with dust, having returned from taking care of the cows, in front of our relatives and everyone, he arouses our desire, then how do we feel right now when it's the full moon night, the middle of the night, he's fully decorated with a garland of forest flowers, like a hero, and we're alone with him in the forest?
Así que Vijnana Viviti es que si Krishna hace aparecer este sentimiento amoroso de Cupido cuando está todo el mundo delante, regresa de las vacas, todo polvoriento, ¿cómo no va a despertarlo cuando aparece la luna llena, está todo enjollado, todo hermosísimo con las guirnaldas?
So therefore, now, when they are speaking in Gopi Gita, the influence of Cupid must be 1,000,000 times more, if even in that difficult situation, that influence comes.
Así que la influencia de Cupido debe ser muy enorme ahora, si antes que era más difícil también estaba apareciendo.
So, Braj Gopis are saying, very deep point, Yatstasi, you give to us the smara, the amorous desire, means that actually we don't have any amorous desire. You are giving it to us.
Esto significa que este amoroso deseo amoroso nos lo está dando él, no estaba antes en nosotros.
That means we were very young and very innocent.
Éramos inocentes y muy jóvenes.
And very, very pure.
Muy puras.
We never thought of any type of relationship with anyone.
No pensábamos en ningún tipo de relación con nadie.
But, by your association, this feeling has come.
Pero por su asociación este sentimiento ha aparecido.
So it means that, actually, our desire is not for us, it's for your happiness.
Este deseo no es para nosotras mismas, es para tu felicidad.
In other words, when you show us your face again and again, seeing the desire in your eyes, so desire comes to us. Otherwise, we have no desire for our own happiness.
Cuando muestras tu rostro una y otra vez, ese deseo aparece en nosotras porque tú muestras ese deseo a través de tus ojos. Si no, de otra manera no existe ese deseo en nosotros.
So Krishna, your behavior is very contrary.
Así que Krishna, tu comportamiento es
Because you yourself are full of desire.
Tú mismo estás lleno de deseo.
And we know that this gives you pain.
Y esto te da sufrimiento.
And we cannot tolerate any discomfort on your behalf, so we want to help you.
No podemos tolerar ningún tipo de molestia en ti, así que te queremos ayudar.
But every day you come home, you look at us again and again, and then you go in the house without doing anything about it.
Así que tú vienes cada día, nos muestras tu rostro una y otra vez y luego te vas a casa sin hacer nada acerca de esto.
And now in the middle of the forest also you have left.
Y ahora en medio de la foresta también te has marchado.
So you're acting against your own self-interest.
Así que estás actuando en contrario a tu interés personal.
So when the Gopis say the word Veer, hero, this is a criticism of Krishna.
Así que cuando dicen Veer es una crítica de Krishna.
Veer means hero. From this the English word has come virile, means very masculine.
Es la raíz de viril, que es un héroe.
So Gopis are saying, hey Veer, hero, what kind of Veer are you?
Hey, hero, héroe. ¿Qué tipo de héroe eres tú?
If the hero arouses the desire of the heroine, then actually, really to be a hero, then he should meet with her.
De hecho, el héroe, si despierta ese sentimiento en la dama, después tendría que estar con ella.
But Krishna, Veera Yatsasi, what kind of hero are you? You come back, you arouse all of our desires, and then you just go into your house without doing anything.
¿Qué tipo de héroe eres tú? Que despiertas estos sentimientos y después desapareces.
And now here, we have come into the forest in the middle of the night, and again you have disappeared.
Llega otra vez. Apareces en medio de la foresta a medianoche y acabas de irte.
So we know that you cannot be happy.
Así que sabemos que no puedes ser feliz.
So Krishna, at once you should return.
Así que Krishna, de una vez debes retornar.
So in this way, Braj Gopis, they are remembering the Shayam Lila, that means the evening pastimes of Krishna. They are remembering their Purvarag, how they fell in love with Krishna, seeing Krishna's desire.
Así que en este verso están recordados se llama Lila, que es el Lila del atardecer, y el Purvara, que es a través del deseo de Krishna.
Because this is the nature of separation.
Esta es la naturaleza de la separación.
Srila Gurudev used to say that when Sita was stolen by Ravan and kept captive in the garden of Ashok trees,
Srila Gurudev dice que cuando Sita fue raptada por Ravana en ese jardín de árboles de Ashoka,
it was raining.
llovía.
And Ashok trees, they don't give shelter.
Los árboles de Ashoka no dan refugio.
So Sita was sitting in the rain.
Sita estaba ahí sentada bajo la lluvia.
She has been kidnapped by a demon.
Había sido raptada por el demonio.
She's a prisoner.
Una prisionera.
And she was crying.
Llorando.
But remembering what?
Pero recordaba que
She's crying remembering the first time she met Ram.
estaba recordando la primera vez que se encontró con Ram.
She was in a garden with some friends picking flowers.
Estaba en un jardín con unas amigas recogiendo flores.
And Ram and Lakshman were wandering, and Ram saw this very beautiful princess.
Y Ram y Lakshman venían por el camino y vieron esa preciosa princesa.
And then Ram said to Lakshman, "Alas, alas, my dharma is ruined."
Y Rama le dijo a Lakshman, alas, mi dharma está arruinado.
Because I am a brahmachari,
Soy un brahmachari.
and I have become attracted to some maidens.
Y de alguna manera me he atraído hacia esta dama.
Lakshman said, "It is impossible for you to go against dharma.
Y Lakshman dijo, es imposible que vayas en contra del dharma.
So there must be some mystery in this."
Hay un misterio, debe haber un misterio en esto.
What was the mystery?
¿Cuál fue el
That
misterio?
she is his eternal consort, and later they would be married.
La consorte eterna, que luego se casaría.
And when Sita, she saw Ram for the first time, she began to cry
Cuando Sita vio a Ram por primera vez, comenzaba a llorar.
and said to her Sakhis, "What can I say?
Dijo a los Sakis, ¿qué puedo decir?
My eyes have seen, but they cannot speak.
Mis ojos han visto, pero no pueden hablar.
And my voice can speak, but it did not see."
Mi voz puede hablar, pero no han visto.
So this was the first meeting of Sita and Ram.
Y este fue el primer encuentro entre Sita y Ram.
But years later, when she was in separation, then she's crying and feeling the ecstasy, remembering how they first met.
Después de separación, ella siente el éxtasis que recuerdo de cuando primero se encontraron.
So similarly, when Krishna disappears from the Rasliya and all gopis are in separation, naturally they're thinking of their earlier life when they were first meeting Krishna and they were first attracted to each other.
De manera similar, cuando Krishna desaparece con Raslila, las gopis recuerdan ese primer encuentro.
And so they're speaking this verse.
Y hablan este verso.
Gaura Premananda.
Hari Hari Bol.
So this is bhajan. chant Harinam and sinking to the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Este es Brian, cantando el santo nombre y inmerso en el néctar de Harinam, de Krishna.